Hey, what's going on, guys? Super Deathbot here. I finally got a little bit of a review corner set up, so I am going to do my first review here and see how this goes. Well, in this space anyway. So let me know what you think, and hopefully I can just keep getting better and better and giving you more and more, and uh, giving you some insight on these figures and seeing if you want to buy them or not. So here today I have Marvel Legends Starlord from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I found him at Walgreens the other day, and actually yesterday, and I was actually surprised because usually my areas don't have much of that stuff. So let's get into it. This is going to be just a quick one because even though this is a really cool figure, there is not too much to go over here. As far as accessories and things like that. So, Marvel Legends on this one did actually a really good job, in my opinion. So, you can see here the detail on the mask, his helmet, that just wasn't in the last one, it didn't look great. This one has a ton of detail. The paint applications are really good. There's some weathering. You can see on his jacket they actually put, some effort. His articulation isn't really hindered by the jacket at all. He has some text here on his shirt that's really well painted. No marks, no dings, anything like that. Same thing with his guns. They have, the same paint as the helmet. They're painted pretty well. There's some weathering. There's definitely some metallics in there and stuff like that. So, some effort. Definitely a few different kinds of paint on this guy. And I appreciate it, when they actually do stuff like that and take the time to give us what we want, Nothing fancy as far as articulation goes, standard ball joints in the shoulder. He does have ab crunch, even though he has a jacket, which works pretty well, actually. So you get a pretty good range of motion out of that, even though he does have clothes that you would normally think would hinder that. The sculpt on his head and hair and all that kind of stuff is really good. They stepped it up with this one. Everything that's going on here is pretty good, and the paint surprisingly is really good. You can see the fibers and the textures in the back of his jacket. Same thing with his pants, his boots. I feel like stuff like that could always use a little more weathering, but I mean, it is a $20 figure, so they're not going to go crazy. Double jointed knees, ankle pivot. Everyone loves the ankle pivot. He has a boot swivel, which I like better than when they do like a thigh swivel or something like that, because, it doesn't look very good, realistic or anything like that. But I'm not big into caring about really where the joints are, because it is a figure after all, and I'd rather have the articulation. So, he does not come with much. However, he comes with an alternate head that, is actually pretty good. So, I'll get this bad boy on here. And, the lighting in here, it's a little glossy and stuff like that. But I gotta say, overall, they did a pretty good job on his face. It actually looks like him. They put some paint apps on there. The sculpt work is pretty good. I mean, it is shiny plastic, so you get some of that on like a Figure Arts or an import or something like that. That would be a little bit more matted and probably 3D printed and something like that. But for a casted plastic head and what Legends usually does, it's a pretty good likeness. So he's got that going on for him, which is pretty good. It'll take some good photos in the right lighting and stuff like that. But other than the two head sculpts and his guns, that's all this guy comes with, and I think they did a good job on what he came with, so I'm not really mad at that. But he doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece either, which is, I haven't decided if that's a good or bad thing yet, because sometimes you want, like, if you don't want to build the figure, you don't really care about that, you just want Starlord. His guns actually hook onto him here, so that's kind of cool. They don't really stay on that well, but they do hook in to that little peg there. So you can have them hook both of those on there if you don't want them to hold them. Now, my biggest gripe with Marvel Legends is usually paint, but it's very quickly becoming hands. For a figure who only comes with 2 guns and a head, which, you know, is normal for this figure. I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet. Nobody has, so you wouldn't know really what else he would come with. Come on, man, give me some hands. Give me some fists. Give me some anything, really. I mean, you look at other companies that come with 5, 6, 7 sets of hands. Even if 2 or 3, you know, give me something besides just a trigger hand, so when he's standing there normally, it doesn't look so weird, you know? It's stuff that you already have made, you already have casted, you don't have to do any extra work. I mean, he doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, so use the plastic from that to give him, you know, to give him a little bit more life, you know? You companies know what we're doing with these figures now, with pictures and things like that, so, you know, give us some good shit. I mean, oh, there goes the gun. See, they don't stay on very well. But, you know, overall, for a Marvel Legend, sculpt work, really good. Paint work, really good. Accessories limited, but, you know, if you're excited about Guardians, which I'm assuming if you're watching this review, you will be, then I would pick him up. He's a pretty solid pickup for sure. So, I'm going to review some of the others in this wave that I have so far, so, you can take a look at those if you're into it, and hopefully that can help you sway your decision on whether you should purchase this guy or not, or those other legends. Alright, I'll see you in the next review.